Yes, the world's best models are here. O3, O3 Mini. Is this an AGI? Is this close to the AGI? I don't know, but it seems like we are really closer to the real AGI thing. As Sam Altman's vision, the real goal of OpenAI is to achieve AGI, and this is again a big step towards the AGI. Today we have the announcement of this O3 and O3 Mini model, which is not exactly in the public use, but it is announced for the safety and the testing purpose. And you know what? At the end of this video, we will going to see the presenter is actually giving this much big prompt to the OpenAI O3 Mini model, and the model is doing crazy stuff, creating the Python script, calling its own API, doing lots of amazing things, and we will going to understand how they are doing all these things. So stay tuned till the end of this video, and if you have not yet subscribed, go and subscribe to Bitfumes YouTube channel. Welcome to Bitfumes. I'm your host Sarthak, the founder of Bitfumes, passionate content creator, developer and DevOps expert who love to embrace the AI. If you have any question regarding your career or project, you can schedule a one-to-one call directly from my own website, which is sarthaksavvy.com. Please go and book a call if you have any question. So without wasting time, let's get started. So let's hear it from Sam Altman itself.
Today, we're going to talk about that next frontier model, which you would think logically maybe should be called O2. But out of respect to our friends at Telefonica, and in the grand tradition of OpenAI being really, truly bad at names, it's going to be called O3. Actually, we're not going to we're going to announce two models today, O3 and O3 Mini. O3 is a very, very smart model. O3 Mini is an
they have announced these two models, and they have not named it O2 because of the controversies between the O2, the telecom company, but they have skipped that name and moved to O3. But this seems like another big step for their frontier models. But to evaluate any model, we generally go through the benchmarks. So let's see how powerful the benchmarks are for this O3 model.
And I want to start with coding benchmarks, if you could bring those up. So on software style benchmarks, we have SweetBench Verified, which is a benchmark consisting of real-world software tasks. We're seeing that O3 performs at about 71.7% accuracy, which is over 20% better than our O1 models. Now, this really signifies that we're really climbing the frontier of utility as well. On competition code, we see that O1 achieves an ELO on this contest coding site called Codeforce is about 1891. At our most aggressive high test time compute settings, we're able to achieve almost like a 2727 ELO here.
So see, here these two models are even outperforming the older O1, the reasoning model, the best ever model we thought we had. But now we have the O3 model. They are really passing the huge percentage on these coding benchmarks like Sui benchmark and the second one, which is Codeforce. Okay, so this is great, but here is the fun part. So now Sam is asking to this person who is the head of research about his benchmark score. So let's hear this one.
So Mark was a competitive programmer, actually still coaches competitive programming. Very, very good. What is your?
I think my best at a comparable site was about 2,500.
That's tough.
Well, I will say, our chief scientist, this is also better than our chief scientist Jakob's score.
I think there's one guy at OpenAI who's still like a 3,000 something.
Yeah,
gets a few more months to.
Yeah.
How powerful the OpenAI team is. The head of research of OpenAI is having 2,500 benchmark score. Someone is also having 3,000, but here the model has achieved more than 2,500, which is basically 2727. This seems like we are getting close to the AGI. So what basically AGI means is, in a general term, if any LLM model or any AI which can surpass all the intelligence of human, then we call it AGI. And here it is closer. I can say not achieved, but closer, because someone is also having 3,000. So if a model achieved 3,000 and plus, and obviously it's not plus, but if a model achieved 3,000, then yes, we can say that AGI is achieved, at least for this coding thing. But that's the fun part from my side. But they have not announced that it is really the AGI thing. So now let's check out the math benchmarks. So on the math benchmark, still O3 is actually surpassing the previous model O1, which was the best in class model. But now we have the O3, which is having 96.7% on AIME and 87.7 on the PhD level science questions. Whoa, that's crazy. Let's hear from the announcement.
87.7%, which is about 10% better than our O1 performance, which was at 78%. Just to put this in perspective, if you take an expert PhD, they typically get about 70% in kind of their field of strength here. So one thing that you might notice, from some of these benchmarks is that we're reaching saturation for a lot of them, or nearing.
This is the real crazy thing. See, we are really close to the saturation of these benchmarks also. If model is closer to the 100, it's closer to the 90, that means very soon we will going to cross the 100. That means these benchmarks will no longer be the real validation. What we need then? We need a new kind of benchmark, a harder one, more tougher, so that our LLM model can be evaluated properly, the advanced LLM models. So let's see what they have did.
Saturation. So the last year has really highlighted the need for really harder benchmarks to accurately assess where our frontier models lie. And I think a couple have emerged as fairly promising over the last months. One in particular I want to call out is OpenAI's Frontier Math benchmark. Now,
see, this OpenAI is the real benchmark for the next generation of powerful reasoning AI models. Here, previous state-of-the-art models just have the 2%, but now O3 is really closer to the 25%. That's crazy. And since these kind of new benchmarks are emerging, we will see more amazing models from different companies getting closer to the saturation of these models also. This makes the AI thing so much powerful. But along with these kind of OpenAI frontier math benchmarks, we also need some different kind of benchmarks which can evaluate the reasoning capabilities of these O1 and O3 kind of models. And for that, we have a new kind of benchmark, which is the ARC benchmark. So let's hear from this announcement what they have taught us. And this is really crazy. I just really want to show you all these things. It's really fun also to watch.
Having input examples and output examples.
Well, they're good.
They're good? Okay. Input examples and output examples. Now the goal is you want to understand the rule or the transformation and guess it on the output.
So let's just pause here and you just try this. What will be the output here if this is the pattern? So we can see we have this input, we have this output. Then if this is the input, what should be the output? What is the pattern you see here? So just by looking into it, as a human mind can easily evaluate that, okay, if there is a light blue, then there is a field of darker blue. And similar to that, on every 3 light, we can place a darker blue. That's easy for the human mind, but not for the AI. And this they have achieved. Another one is really powerful thing. This one is crazy, and I just again want you to just pause this video and try to see the pattern in this. Okay, so the pattern is very simple. In the blue box, if we have 2 red boxes, then we have 2 layers of red over the blue box. If we have a 3 box inside the blue one, then we have 3 layers of same color for the box. So this is kind of like we have the border of the width of number of boxes we have in the blue box. Again, it's easy for the human brain, but not for the AI. And that's why they have used this new benchmark, which is called ARC benchmark. So ARC AGI benchmark is really great, and O3 on this has really powerful capability with 75.7% and higher on the 85.5%. If you allow this model to think more, then it can achieve a greater result. That's crazy. So after having this great and so powerful O3 model, they have announced a smaller but more powerful, faster and affordable model called O3 Mini. Let's get to the announcement of O3 Mini directly. So here we are, and
very happy to tell you more about O3 Mini, which is a brand new model in the O3 family that truly defines a new cost-efficient reasoning frontier.
It's incredible.
Yeah, though it's not available to our users today, we are opening access to the model to our safety and security researchers to test.
So see, this is obviously again not actually released, it's announced, it's open for the testing and safety, but they have actually showed a really amazing demo where they have asked the O3 Mini model to create some Python script which is really complex and do the API call on itself on the O3 Mini and again get the result, and also can check its own accuracy by just creating a program, a Python script for that. Let's see what they have done here. So I'm not going to the benchmarks again because benchmarks are overrated. So let's really go to the things they have actually doing. So here, see, this is the real question which you can pause the video and read it. It has so many things in here, and now they have asked O1 Mini to actually test these things, and yeah, that's crazy. So let's see the announcement.
O3 Mini High first, and the task is that I'm asking the model to use Python to implement a code generator and executor. So if I launch this, run this like Python script, it will launch a server locally with a UI that contains a text box, and then we can make coding requests in a text box. It will send the request to call O3 Mini API, and O3 Mini API will solve the task and return a piece of code, and it will then save the code locally on my desktop, and then open a terminal to execute the code automatically.
So see, that's a lot of things this is doing in just one prompt, and O3 Mini will be able to solve this very accurately.
It's a
very complicated,
pretty complicated task, right? And it outputs like a big chunk of code. So if we copy the code and paste it to our server, and then we would like to launch this server.
So we should get a text box when you're launching it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
It seems to be launching something.
Okay.
Oh.
So see, this one is really created by O3 Mini, and it's not just a simple thing. Where you write the prompt, that prompt will actually going to call the OpenAI O3 Mini API and get the result, and that result can be executed by the Python script.
Great, we have a OpenAI submit. So it's sending the request to O3 Mini Medium, so it should be pretty fast, right? So on this.
So again, this is again going to the API and getting the result.
41.
Terminal, yeah.
So see, it has created a random file which is tmsn.py file, and it has ran the file which print the OpenAI and a random number. So it has created that script which do this. Crazy. Let's see the next amazing thing. So they have actually created a Python code which can actually send a request to the backend which actually evaluate the accuracy of this OpenAI O3 Mini model. See, this is the again prompt. You can pause the video, see the prompt, and see the result, which is
or which part is it off?
Obviously this is evaluating the benchmark or accuracy through a CSV file which they have given just the path, and now it's downloading and doing all the accuracy test, and finally we will get the result. and result is again very nice. It's 61.62% of accuracy. That means a model is evaluating itself by calling its own API if you just write a prompt. That's crazy, that's mind-blowing, that's out of the world thing happening, and I'm glad that I'm witnessing all these things. So this was the last day of OpenAI, and this is completing the crazy things happening for last 12 days, and it has great journey from day 1 to day 12. If you want to know more about these announcements, just check out the Bitfume's YouTube channel. Every day announcement is there. If you have any kind of question, just let me know in the comment section, and for anything related to the AI you can email me. And obviously, if you have not yet subscribed, go and subscribe to Bitfume's YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.